What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Fleetwood Mac. Shout out to all the people who've been part of this deep dive. We're going back to their greatest hits compilation, or one of the greatest hits. It's literally just called greatest hits, so I suppose I'm speaking in a proper name rather than a common noun concept. In any case, we're up to the tune Gypsy. I did want to mention there's at least a couple bonus or extended versions of tunes that once we get to the end of this, I'd like to go through. Including the extended mix of Little Lies. So when we finish this compilation, before any other steps have to be taken, there'll be at least a couple more reactions, and then we can figure it out from there. But yeah, I skipped over a couple tracks that I already reacted to as part of the albums I've gone through, and the next one is Gypsy. It depends on the way you use the word. It can refer to the Romani people, and I think even then it's, seen as an epithet these days. Ultimately, it can be used to refer to other travelers, other nomadic people, or like semi-nomadic communities, which again I think is almost exclusively offensive these days. But nevertheless, I feel like in a more like neutral context, the idea is someone who doesn't really stay in one place, at least not for very long. They travel, they move, they go from one place, and that could be, the place or experience of a relationship. Someone could be refusing to commit in a, more traditional sense to other people, and, chooses to instead keep following their own path, even if that, means they never settle down. It could have nothing to do with any of that. It could be someone's name. So ultimately, I'm not quite sure what to expect. My most likely prediction is that it'll be a more just neutral concept of the word, such that it relates to, at least figuratively, the idea of never staying in one place for very long. Let's see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Fleetwood Mac. The track is Gypsy, and it's a tune included on their greatest hits compilation.
Some lace and vapor flowers, back to the gypsy that I was, to the gypsy that I was. And it all comes down to you. Well, you know that it does when lightning strikes. Maybe once, maybe twice. Oh, and it lights up the night. And you see your gypsy. You see your gypsy.
bit bluegrass, like, what a tune. Not sure what it's about. I'll get to the lyrics that I caught and the possible themes in a minute, but I love the way that soft melody went through, I don't know if they were bells or chimes, and then it went into like a keyboard, and then the guitar was playing it. It cycled through several instruments. I really loved that. And the track just had that smooth, warm, comfortable feel. I remember Mark, an expression that like really like stuck with me, but he described dreams as like getting in a warm bath, and like part of this tune had that same like it's just so like nice and comfortable. And ultimately, again, Stevie, I thought really sounded good on this one. Not only some of the moments just melodically, but some of the extensions, the power that she can have in some moments. So I really thought she shone, or shone, depending on the way you conjugate that verb, really well. And yeah, there was that line, which I'm now like blanking on the specific version of it, but it was something about like the Gypsy like in the mirror, and I thought she was maybe like talking about herself, and like, you know, again, maybe the idea of like going to different places and never quite finding or never wanting to, like, and I think there was a line about freedom, so maybe it's more about like, you know, wanting that ability just to, you know, never have to put down roots anywhere, and just to, you know, sort of live a bit more mercurially. But then there were like other things where there are other lines where it was like, it sounded like she was saying to another person, like, you know, calling out, or I forget again exactly what the phrasing was, but something like it was them trying to be in touch with the Gypsy, which again, that could be her. Like, it, you know, it could be sort of referencing the Gypsy in this case by, you know, third person. But yeah, I'm not quite sure the specific nature of it, but I feel like likely on some level it's, you know, it may relate to the general concept of a nomadic way of being, but a really cool tune sonically, and one that, again, it makes sense to me that a track like this would be on their greatest hits. I'm curious to know when this comes from, and again, that part at the end where it definitely gave me a country vibe, but then I was thinking something about the way it was being played. It reminded me of, you know, one of those sort of bluegrass type of tunes. So either way, there's stylistic diversity, even just over a couple albums and a few other tracks, presumably from, you know, other albums. And knowing that when I jumped into the story, we're already talking like double-digit number of albums. Yeah, I'm expecting that is only the tip of the iceberg in that regard. But either way, I really like this one. Wondering in the moment what the next tune will be. What is it? You make loving fun. Did I already react to that? That sounds familiar. I feel like I did react to that. In fact, I'm remembering, wasn't it the song where it was Chrissy, like, and the guy that, yeah, I definitely reacted to that, which is on Rumors. And I even remember a bit about what people were saying was the impetus behind the song. So what's after that? As Long as You Follow. I don't think I've reacted to that. That title doesn't come back to me in the moment. So presumably that's the next tune. And as I said, after we get through however many more of these weren't on previous albums we've gone through, there are a couple like extra, you know, bonus type tracks or versions of tunes that I'd like to listen to. So again, Little Lies I was really happy with, because that was like, I thought it might be that tune going into it, and it was better than I remembered it, and now it's, you know, occasionally I'll find myself just kind of like humming the chorus, and it's like, oh man, but I'm kind of like saving it because I knew I had access to that extended version. So looking forward to that, but again, before we get there, we have plenty more to go. Once again, shout out to all the folks following this particular deep dive. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.